I
again.
know, how you doing again for like a third, fourth time. Thank you so much for the invite. I was telling everybody I'm so
Well,
excited to have you as my last guest for 2025 for so many
okay.
reasons. But before we get there, before we start talking about that, give a quick intro of who you are for people who are tuning in, who are like, who is she interviewing now? Like, who is this person? Just a quick intro, and then we're kind of get more into like, the stories and whatever we want to talk about, right?
Okay.
So the mic
Well,
is yours. Hopefully I can hear you good.
so how you doing, everybody? My name is Jeremy. They call me Jay. Get Busy Jay on Instagram, TikTok, all the platforms. I'm a personal trainer. Been a personal trainer for 12 years, 13 years now, and my whole purpose in getting into becoming a personal trainer is I enjoy helping other people utilize creating a safe place for themselves in a healthy way to get in shape, take care of their wellness, and just become a better version of themselves in every way, form, or fashion, not just physically, but mentally as well. And I love what I do, and I'm going to continue doing that until dead eye.
I love it. I love it. And I was thinking, I was like, I'm so glad that you're like my last guest for this year, because I feel like it's a great way to end the year and to kind of get mentally prepared for this new year coming up, right?
Definitely,
Yeah, but before we get into that, because I'm sure we're gonna get into that a lot, because it's just the right moment, I feel like.
yeah.
So obviously you're a personal trainer. I was like, you know what I did today? I'm like, I'm gonna get
I
my
know
ass
you
to the
did
gym.
not. You didn't. Get your ass to the gym.
No, you know what's so crazy? Because I haven't gone, Jay, these past weeks, because I started a new job, right? And I know you're gonna say it's all excuses, but my schedule has been crazy. Look at it, I'm already seeing my schedule has been crazy. And something else, I know, guys. Okay, I'm prepared for you to yell at me. No, not yell at me, but
But we about
like,
to get there. We about to get
I
there.
know, no, but listen. So my job, I'm like standing for like at least 6 hours, right? And I've had, how when the heel, like something's like
What
your
it
heels.
do? Hold on. What it do, Matt? What's going on, my boy?
Oh yeah, Cash Money Matt. Yeah, they're here
My
supporting,
boy.
showing you love, man. You
That's my
got a
boy.
lot of love on Instagram. I love it. So anyway, so my heel, like something's like poking on my heel, and literally at the end of my shift, I can't walk. Like, but that's not an excuse. I was like, you know what? Today's my day off. I have the next couple of days off. I need to start
You
back on
might
track.
use.
So,
You
but
might
before you
get a
yell at
better.
me,
You need to get a better pair of shoes for working
I
out. Cause
know. Yeah, everyone's told me. So I'm definitely gonna invest in that, because standing for like 6-7 hours, like at the end
yeah,
of the night, I'm like dead. But anyways, okay. So I'm gonna ask you questions. I'm gonna pick your brain. You said ask you whatever, right?
yeah. Go ahead and ask me whatever
Okay.
you want.
So obviously, maybe you don't know this, but before I interview people, I do my little research. I'm a woman. You're like, okay,
Okay.
let's see what's going on with this person. So I want you to tell us um a little bit about your story on
Okay.
like how you got into the fitness world, because I know that story before that is pretty intense, because like I said, I did my research,
Yeah.
but I want you to share it with us, because I think it's really important. I always love, and this is why I love to do the podcast, because I feel like when I highlight people, it's not
Yeah.
just to talk to somebody, but
Hmm.
it's to be like, let me know more about you, especially people who are doing things out there, whether it's in the music world, in the fitness world, it's
Gotcha.
whatever. When you have a story to tell, I feel like that can inspire people, and I think it's really important. So I'm gonna give you the mic. Tell us about that, because I would love to hear it from you.
So my fitness journey started back when I was 18 years old. Beforehand, I had always just been an athlete. I played football growing up as a kid. Football had always been my thing. I was a running back. I had never lifted weights before. Um, when I turned 18, I ended up going to prison. I had to do 2.5 years. And at the time, I was dealing with a lot of, I guess, frustration from my upbringing, and I didn't know how to release it. So fighting was my way to release it growing up. But then when I went to prison, I learned that I had to figure out a new way to release that energy. So I ended up seeing the weights, and I was just like, okay, let me try this. And I remember the first time I even attempted to play with the weights. I was on a bar and I had 215 on a bench, and I was like, I got this. I thought I was He-Man when I was growing
Kind of
up.
lightweight.
Yeah, I was like, what? I lightweight. I thought I was He-Man. So then I ended up attempting it, and I couldn't lift it, and that alone just kind of like it humbled me in a way, but it also like it built the fire in me.
It
And then
pushed
I
you,
was
yeah.
like, yeah. So I was like, I was like, I'm gonna do this again in 30 days. So then I just pretty much started doing a whole bunch of push-ups. I started doing like 500 push-ups a day, And I just continued that for a whole month while I still continued to work out and lift
You
weights.
said 500 push-ups a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then I was doing that, and then I was lifting weights still, but I wasn't lifting the 225. So that was like my goal. Like it became my challenge for myself. And
Yeah.
it kind of like took over that energy that I was using to like be destructive. It gave me something positive to do with it. So then I ended up a month later, I went to that whole 225 on the bar, and I picked it up off the rack, and I was just like, okay, here you go. And I lifted it. And that was like the beginning of like what it felt like to accomplish something major in my mind when
Yeah.
it came to lifting weights. And then it was just like, okay, I saw how dedicated I was to that process in those 30 days to make sure that I can achieve that goal. And from there it was everything
The
I've
rest
been.
is history.
Yeah, the rest is history.
Well, let me ask you something. So I think that's really, I mean, that's why I think it's really cool to share your story, right? Obviously, you don't have to go into details if you don't want to, but you know, the fact that you had to go, you know, you went to prison, but like I'm a huge believer that everything happens for a reason, right?
Yeah,
but you know what? But hats off to you, my respect to you, because like a lot of people go through a lot of stuff, right?
Yeah.
And then I think it's a choice on the outlet that we choose to. And sometimes we can make a mistake. Like you said, maybe it was fighting, maybe you had a lot of built up anger or whatever, only you know, right? What you had inside of you. But the fact that you like were like, okay, hold on, this is an outlet where I can actually release this, because they do say, and you're a fitness trainer, so you can tell me or correct me if I'm wrong, but they say when you work out, that's like what's the right word? I don't know. It just helps you like release anger or whatever it is that you're feeling, right? All these endorphins when you, right? Would you say so? Is that kind of like
I would say
about it?
I feel like genuinely, I feel like what fitness does for you mentally, it helps you kind of create like a balance point. Because a lot of times we dealing with different struggles each and every day, and everybody's struggles is totally different. Some may be financial, some may be upbringing struggles, some may be, you know, mental battles with themselves.
Yeah.
But I also feel like what fitness can do for you, because I would like it to do that for everybody, but for a lot of people, they only focus on the physicalities of it, on the physical standpoint. But what it can do for you, it can help you mentally. And I think that's what I grabbed hold of. I grabbed a hold of that from the beginning, and it changed my life.
I love that. Well, I love the fact, and this is why I was so excited to talk to you, because like I agree with you 100%. I think a lot of people, how do I say it? Like you can look at the gym like, okay, I want to lose weight, right? Or I want to get fit, or whatever. But I feel like the moment you put yourself first, and a lot of people, and I include myself, a lot of people, you look at it like, oh, I gotta go to the gym, but then you don't take care of yourself like emotionally, spiritually, or whatever. But when you understand that it's like it's a whole thing, right? Like to go to the gym is not just so you can feel good. It's not just so you can feel good. Like it is a mental thing, because when you go, like it just like, I don't know, I feel, and you can say this, of course, you're a coach, you know, a trainer, like it's just, I think it's just prioritizing yourself and understanding what it can do for you mentally, physically, emotionally, even.
Emotionally, yeah.
So is it safe to say that fitness kind of not saved you, but in a way?
Fitness is therapeutic. I would have to say that.
Yeah.
I think it can be very therapeutic, because I feel like when you allow yourself to really like allow yourself to be a part of fitness fully, I think it can actually help you in so many ways. It builds confidence, it builds reassurance, it builds all those different things that we're not taught to have when we're young. And I feel like that is the safest place you're gonna have, where it gives you the ability to challenge yourself, but it also gives you the ability to find yourself.
To find yourself. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, now tell me this. So you got into the weights and lifting, you're like, all right, I could do this. I'm built for this. Okay, so what happened then? Like when you got out of jail, then what happened? Like how, like what took you? Because I'm pretty sure, I'm not sure, I don't know your story, obviously.
Yeah.
But like, I'm sure there was a process before you got into like personal training. Right?
So for me, I never envisioned being a personal trainer. Fitness was my safe place for me. It was kind of like my man cave type of thing, where it gave me a place where I can like not have to think about the struggles of life, and it just gave me a free space to like just move and not have to think so much.
Yeah.
So for me, I just wanted to hold on to that. I didn't want to ever become a trainer, because I was just like, I don't really like people, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I really did not like people to that degree. And everybody always thought I should be a trainer, and all of everybody who knew me, I was like,
And
"You
you're
good
like,
at."
I don't like
I
you.
was
Leave me
like,
alone.
no, it wasn't even that I didn't like people. I just wanted to keep that space sacred for me.
For you,
Yeah,
okay, I get
and
it.
I felt like I wanted to be selfish with one thing in my life that I
Okay.
found that was positive for myself.
Yeah, that makes
And
sense.
so I tried to hold on to that for as long as I could possibly hold on to it. And that's kind of where I got out of prison. I stuck to like still working out day to day. Fell in love, just stayed in love with it. Just continued to grow more passion for it. And then as I continued to do that, I did that for about 10 years. And
Oh, wow.
while after getting out of prison, I worked on my life. I decided that I was going to focus on becoming a better version of myself, and in a full way, not just fitness way. So I started working on my mental space, working on, rewiring my mental from my upbringing situations and the trauma that I had dealt with.
Yeah.
While on that path, I went to school, became a medical assistant,
Okay.
started doing medical assistant, and at the time I was working on becoming an MMA fighter. And
Really? Oh, I did see that. Doing my
yeah,
research. That's
yeah,
crazy. Okay, tell us more about that. I used to be so big into UFC.
yeah.
Oh,
So
wow.
I had always had a passion for fighting growing up, but my dad would never put me in boxing. So when I finally got an opportunity as an adult, I was like, this
Like
MMA thing is,
this is
yeah. I
me.
was like, this me. I was like, this street fighting just in a cage.
Yeah.
So I was like, this
Like it's
perfect.
legal. I could do
Yeah,
it.
I was like, okay, I can do this. I can do this for free. I can do this for fun, and I don't go to jail. Cool, I got it.
You're like,
So
sign me up.
sign me up. So that's pretty much what it was. I went to a gym. I was like, I don't know nothing about MMA, but I was like, I'm gonna learn this.
Yeah.
So backstory on that situation, like I was at a point where I was still working on myself and just trying to keep a job and focus on getting my money right. And I found a gym. It was called Team Noguera. And I went in the gym and they had like a free trial week. And I
This
was
is
telling
on
my
Florida. Sorry, just pause.
yeah,
Right?
West Palm Beach, Florida.
Okay.
So I went to him and I was like, I want to try, get into MMA. He was like, okay. So he's like, just come to my class. So I came in. I pretty much went in there for a whole week. They manhandled me for a whole week. But I'm I'm like a determined person. Like I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna let y'all just beat me like that.
You're
So
like,
I
no,
kept
not leaving
going.
here
Yeah,
without
I was like, I gotta learn this. I was like, I really want to do this. So I stuck to that, and pretty much like after the whole 3 week trial, he pulled me to the side and he was like, "Yo, I see your determination." He's like, just come and train, man. He's like, just come in and represent the gym, and the rest was history. So I stuck to that. Got my first MMA fight. I quit my medical assistant job because I did not like the medical field.
You're like, F this, man. This is not my
Yeah,
passion.
I did not like it. So then I was like, okay, I need to make money. And I had already, in the back of my mind, I kept hearing everybody like, you should be a trainer, you should be a trainer, you should be a trainer. So I was like,
Really?
I'm like, all right, let's give it a shot. So
Nice.
that's what started me in being a personal trainer. I just
So what
decided
year was that?
that was 2011 when I did that. Yeah.
2011. Dang. Okay. So and then when you did MMA. So how long did you do that? How long were you fighting for?
I did MMA for 7 years. I fought
dang.
amateur. Yeah, I fought amateur and then I went pro after fighting amateur for 4 years. And then my last
Wow.
2 years
Were you wanting to get into the UFC? Did you ever get
I had a mental battle with that because I didn't
okay?
mind getting into the UFC, but I also understood like it's a big pool of MMA fighters trying to get into the UFC, and I didn't want to fixate my mind to be just focused on MMA. And if I don't get into it, then I'm gonna be upset with myself or feel like my
Yeah.
life isn't. I didn't want to be that person. I just wanted to be honest with you. I needed a tool. I needed a tool to keep me focused on going forward. And MMA became that space for me to focus on not just training for myself, but also being a team player to my teammates and helping them through, getting ready for their fights. And that's what kind of kept me going. And that's what got me into MMA and made me really like just continue to stay in it. Even with, dealing with the day-to-day struggles, I enjoyed like MMA for so long, so much that it kind of like gave me another safe space to like create a positive outlet for myself.
I think that's really cool because I feel like, and I think it's important. Your story is important because there is a lot of people out there. I mean, men and women, right? But for like young men or men that are like, I always say this, obviously this is real talk, right? We
Yeah.
all go through so much things,
Oh,
right?
definitely.
Yeah, and everybody has their own story. And I think it is important because when you're not sure, like, how do I say this? When you're not sure about your healing journey or like what you've gone through or the triggers, like a lot of people can resource to, like, like you said, things that are not good,
Violence.
and then you get in trouble, or to drugs, to alcohol, to so many things. Or sometimes
Mhm.
you just have a battle within yourself on a
Yeah.
regular basis, and you're like, oh my God, why am I so angry? Or
Yeah.
why am I, and so to be able to transfer that, if you will, right, to something that's positive, I think that's so cool. So I hopefully, if anybody hears this, guys, and when we're done with this, if you guys can share this stream, I think it's really important, because this is the whole point for me, at least in the podcast, to be able to inspire people, because
Yeah.
everybody's story is different. Maybe you
Definitely.
can relate to Jay's story, right? Maybe young kids who maybe are getting into trouble, and be like, listen, parents, there's a different outlets that you can
Yeah.
provide for them, right? So I think that's really cool that you did that, and that you found that outlet, and it sounds like that was kind of your calling, right? So when
At
no,
that
kind
point
of,
in
no,
time, it was. I feel like it was
kind
my
of,
calling at that point in time.
okay. So
Yeah.
okay, so then when you did MMA for, you said 7 years, right? So
Yeah.
then when did you finally decide, okay, I'll start training people if everyone thinks I
No, I was
should?
already a trainer at the time.
Oh, when you're doing,
Started
okay.
training. Yeah, I started training when I first got my first amateur fight. I left
Oh,
my
okay.
I left my medical assistant position
Oh, that's
and
right.
I
Okay.
focused on becoming a fighter. And I needed a flexible schedule, but I also needed to make money to pay my bills. And that's when I
Right.
got into personal training. And while the whole time I was doing MMA, I was a personal trainer as well.
Okay. So now, in your experience with it, like, what has it been for you to not just, I don't know if it's safe to say it transformed your life to a degree, right?
Yeah.
But how do you feel being able to help others do the same? I know at the beginning when you did the intro, you kind of said that you love to help others, which I'm assuming, especially as a trainer, right?
Yeah.
But what has that done to you, like your mental, or to your life, being like, damn, like
I feel like
this
it's a
helped me,
gift.
now I get to help others.
I feel like it's a gift. I feel
Yeah,
like it's
for
a
sure.
blessing. I feel like it's a blessing to be able to not only help people, but I give you something that you could take with you for life
Mm,
and be a part of your journey. That's something that I really do, because it's like for me, I've continued to work on myself as an
yeah.
individual, to grow as an individual. But for me to be able to play a part in your growth in some way, form, or fashion, and you
Mm,
get to take that with you for life, that's the part that I enjoy the most, because I
yeah.
not only do I help you physically in your day-to-day life, I love when my clients get to come back to me and be like, oh, I could wear this that I couldn't wear before.
Mm,
Or they come back and be like, oh, I went out with my friends and they noticed that I've been losing weight or I've been gaining results. That confidence that comes with me doing my job, that's what I appreciate the most about it. So I think it's a very big blessing to me to be able to be the tool to help other people receive the results they want physically, mentally, and emotionally, because I help all of my clients. I feel like I'm a life coach. I don't feel like I'm just a personal trainer.
I love that, because you said a lot of things, obviously, that were so, that hit home also, because I feel like also, and then I'm going to ask you, see what your response is to this, right? But like for myself personally, going through, like, when you try to get into the fitness world, you
Mhm.
try to lose weight, you try to get into shape, like it's not easy for everybody. Like, I don't know. I don't know. I think I told you this. I'm not sure if I did, but I watched a show called, oh my God, what was it called? Like Fit to Fat to Fit or something like that. Basically, have you seen that? Okay,
Yeah,
where they, like, the coaches like gain the weight, and
yeah.
then they
It's
see the
pretty much it's
struggle,
pretty much
right?
a test that they do to see how they gonna
Yeah,
how fast they can lose the weight.
yeah. And I thought that show was really cool, because like it's so true, because it's easy. And I don't know, you're don't yell at me, okay? But I'm like, as a trainer, you'd be like, get your ass in the gym, like just
Yeah,
get it together. But like when they gain the weight, they're like, okay, like especially people who have never gone through, like, okay,
yeah,
you're overweight or da 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 da. When they experienced that, it was kind of like emotional for a lot of the coaches, because they're like, whoa, like I've never been in this place, but now I get how it can be hard,
yeah,
which it's easy to say, hey, that's excuses, like get it
yeah,
together, but what would you say, like, for people? I don't know what your take is on that, but like I agree with you that there is excuses. Like if you want to do something, you just have to
mhm,
do. You have to make your mind up
yeah.
and do it, right? But what about, like, there's people who genuinely struggle, and I feel like, would you say for people who like want to get fit, right, and want to lose weight,
Mhm.
does it start right here? You know what I'm saying? Like, or
I feel
what's
I
that thing that
feel
you think?
I feel a lot of it starts with you wanting to commit to yourself before anything.
Mm, Okay.
I don't think you start with the mental aspect of it, because you first got to commit to wanting to take care of yourself and
To you.
make
Yeah.
yourself a priority. Once you get that part together and then you build consistency behind that, then I
Mhm.
think it's the mental battle of how far you can go. Because a lot
Mm,
of times people problem is they put limits on their abilities.
true.
And I feel like you have to get to that point where you break yourself away from those limitations so that you can see yourself gain the results that you want. And I think that's the hump that a lot of people don't ever get over. And that's
Yeah.
what I like trying to help people get over, is the fact that you're capable of doing a lot more than you think you can.
It's
But
true.
I'm the one who knows the information, because a lot of times the problem is it's not even just the fact that you put limitations on yourself. You lack the information or the resources
Mm,
to use in the gym. I'm the
that
resources,
part.
and I'm the person who can break your limitations.
I
And then
love.
once I get you to that part, then we can go to the
Then I'm
next
gonna
one.
kick your.
Yeah.
No,
Now I'm gonna do my job.
now no more excuses. No,
Yeah.
but you know what? It's so true because I feel like it is a commitment to self, like to
Yeah.
be like, listen, and like we talked about earlier, I think it's beyond even just looking good, right, or
Yeah.
feeling good and stuff like that. Like it's like a whole. It's so true. I heard someone say like, why is it that you want people to not break their promises to you, but yet we do that to ourselves on a regular, right? Yeah, where you're like, this year, da 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 da. If I could tell you how many times I said this is gonna be my year, that's it, you know. And the crazy part is, Jay, I don't know if you hear this from your clients, right? But like for myself, I know like sometimes it takes situations to happen for people to be like, okay, now I'm gonna commit to myself, you know. And I don't know why we wait till that for that to happen, right? But it's like, what would you say? Like, it's easier to say, hey, you guys commit to yourself, just do it, just do it, like
Yeah.
just do it,
Well, I mean, it's easy to say it, but to actually
right?
get to do it is a lot more complex, because you got to think about it. We're not born in a world that teaches us to think about ourselves. We're born
That's
in a
true.
world that we're taught to
Compared,
just move and compare, and like, if they got something better than you, then you envy them. It's not something about self. Like, figure out what's for you. We're not taught to have that, so it's
yeah,
it's kind of it's kind of a very hard struggle to find that place. And like I said, I feel like a lot of times it takes people to go through like major issues before they finally
before,
hit
yeah,
rock bottom, before they finally say, okay, I got to
yeah.
think about myself.
That's so true because and that's why I'm like, obviously this conversation is hitting home with me because
Yeah,
I'm like, okay, oh my god, I was scared to talk to him. Like he's gonna be like,
yeah,
no, okay, so like for example, I tell you that I have there's we can always find excuses for
mhm,
everything, right? Let's just be honest with that.
yeah.
But it's true. For example, this year when I started like taking the gym, not even more serious, but like actually just being consistent. Like I don't even know what clicked in me where I was just like, I just need to go. Like whether I like it or
I
not,
know what
I
it
need to
was,
get up
but
here.
I know what it was, but I'm gonna let you tell that story the way you want.
Well, no. I'm interviewing you. Maybe. Okay, no, but honestly, but it was a choice that
Yeah.
I made, honestly.
No,
But
I
my thing,
get it.
that's why right now we went to the gym earlier with my daughter, and I'll be honest, I didn't have like the best workout because I was scared because my foot. But I was like, you know what? No, I don't want to. I want to, like I'm so excited for 2026. Like I don't know how to explain it to you. Like I feel like 2025 for me was like just a lot of like letting go, things I had to do, breakthroughs that had to happen. And I started off good, you know, I lost 30 pounds this year and I still have way to go, but I'm just so excited for 2026. I don't even know how to explain it. Like I'm like, I know I've said it for so many years, but since I feel like this year I actually did something.
Yeah.
And not just that, I realized, hey, Cynthia, you are capable. Like all the excuses you used to have,
The
like,
limita
oh,
you see, you breaking away from your limitations.
yeah. So I'm like, okay. And it's exciting. So that's why I think it's really cool to talk to. Like, I
Yeah.
know people may perceive fitness trainers like, oh, well, of course they're gonna be on your ass. Well, that's your job though, right? But like,
It's deeper than that.
it right?
I feel like it's more of, it's like, as a coach or as a trainer, your job shouldn't just be focused on making money. It's also should be focused on also being a a source of help, and be quality help to those that
I love that.
rely on you. Because I tell people all the time, like, it's just as much as I appreciate people, using my services and paying me for my services,
Mm-hmm.
it's my job to give you back that same energy in return. So
Yeah,
that's why I say it's very important to be like passionate about what I do, because at the end of the
yeah,
day, I want to give you the best quality that I could possibly give. so that when
Yeah.
you do decide to go on your journey, you understand like everything that I gave you was with the best of my
Valuable.
abilities with value. There you go.
No, and you know what, you're right, Jay, because it's like you think about it, and I'm not judging anybody because honestly, I've never had a
Mm,
personal trainer,
yeah,
but it has shown, and even that show that I was talking about earlier, I feel like for me watching that, I feel like even for the trainers that are like, okay, like it meant more than just like
yeah.
let me tell
Oh, yeah,
somebody what to do. So when
definitely.
you say that, I think that's really cool because I don't think, and again, I don't know because I don't have that experience, but I
Yeah,
feel like when you get a trainer that actually cares, like you're like, I'm not just trying to help you get in shape. Like I want you
yeah,
to understand the whole concept of it
yeah,
because you will have a lot
exactly.
of trainers who are just like, here, pay me. I'm just gonna tell
Yeah,
you what to do and da 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 da. And it's like I feel like it because it's not just like that. It's not just like, oh my God, someone just
yeah,
can't stop eating or someone just is full of excuses. It's like, okay, understanding, and I've learned this, that it's not just, oh my God, I'm too tired to go to the gym or I don't have it in me. Like it's a deeper level, I don't want to say problem, but it's a deeper level issue. I don't know if that's the same thing. Like, you know what
I
I'm saying?
think a
Because it
lot of I
starts
think
in your mental,
no,
right?
but I think a lot of it falls back on accountability as well.
That's true.
And I
That's
feel
so
like
true.
that's one of the major components that I feel you have to have when coming into fitness. And if you don't
And
have,
in
you have to,
life.
yeah, you have to create it. You see what I'm saying? And that's why I say because with accountability in the gym, it makes you hold yourself accountable of all other areas in your life as well.
Mm.
So that's why I say it's not just a physical thing. This is a mental thing as well.
This is true. No, I agree with you because it's like it is. And I feel like anybody who's watching you guys, that's why I thought this was so perfect because this is the
Yeah.
last podcast because or episode. Because I feel like, every year, let's be honest, you hear, I'm sure you hear thousands of people
Mhm.
say January 1st,
Yeah.
2026, like I'm gonna
New
start.
Year's
What
re-
do you think about that saying? Like new year, new me. Like, come on.
I mean,
I know
I
you got
do
something good to
I
say.
do I do feel every year you're supposed to become a better version of yourself.
Right.
I wouldn't say new version. I wouldn't
Yeah.
say New Year's resolutions because at the end of the day, you're supposed to continue what what you were working on the year before and just
Mhm.
add more to it.
So
So I
improving
wouldn't.
you
That's why
every
I say
year.
yeah. It's just more about self improvement and improving
True.
your life. Period. And that's why I
Yep.
hate when everybody always had this New Year's resolution thing, and I'm just like the resolution should be being consistent at growing and developing as an individual. It shouldn't be every year we create these things that we don't even stand on at all
It's true.
and stand like that's what we're gonna stand on this year. That's what we're gonna stand on next year. No, let's stand on that every year. Let
I
growth and
see.
development be what we stand on no matter what.
And would you agree, or what would you say? Okay, speaking on that, I think that's so true. Why do
Yeah.
you think that when people say January, I'm going to start, and then January comes, February comes, and March, everyone's like, I'll try next year,
Because accountability, I told you, that's
and
the biggest
committing to
problem.
yourself, right?
And
We're just not.
committing to yourself. Like it's easy for everybody to find a million and one excuses for why they shouldn't do it.
True.
Versus you make it. And this is what I try to tell all my clients. If you go to the gym and put yourself in a position to go to the gym on the days that you don't want to go, then you have
Mm,
way less days of not wanting to go. You stay committed at that point because now you don't work through the hard part of going when you didn't want to go. And you committed to
true.
yourself in that aspect. So now there's going to be less and less days of you not wanting to commit to yourself.
That's so true.
And that's what
Dang.
I tell all my clients. Just go. Just go.
Just go, and it's true. It's true. Me and my daughters, we always talk about like, dang, and the hardest part is just getting your butt there, right? And then once you're there,
Mhm.
it's like, but it's true. I mean, it's easier, right, to make excuses.
Yeah.
Like for example, myself right now, that okay, I got a new job, like my schedule is crazy. What would you tell me?
But what I tell you,
Yeah,
there ain't
because
no
I haven't gone to
excuse.
the gym in weeks.
Listen, there's no excuse. You giving yourself a reason to say why you shouldn't take care of yourself. At the end of the day, you should be a part of your agenda every day.
That's true.
And on the end of the day, and it's so crazy because everybody excuse would be like, I don't want to get up early. I don't want to. But end of the day, when push comes to shove, if you get an illness that you can't get rid of, you're gonna start
Oof,
getting up early in the morning to try to
oof.
prevent
Ah,
that from
he's
escalating.
preaching, you guys. He's preaching. And
So
guys, you
I
guys
feel
are
like at the
obviously
end of the
quiet
day,
in the chat,
that
you guys.
that should be your requirement to take care of yourself and find room for yourself no matter what.
It's no, it's true, you guys. And this is the thing. A lot of times we don't want to hear what we know, really.
Yeah.
Because I remember in an example, when I started my work, I remember I told my daughter, I'm like, it's okay, no excuses, because I was on a roll, going to the gym every
Yeah.
day. And I was like, it's okay if I get off work at 9, 10 o'clock at night, like where I live, like the gym is open 24/7, so there's no excuse, right? And I know, wait, so
Say
just
that
like
again. Say that again. Say that again.
oh, my mic's not working. I'm just
Yeah,
kidding. No, the gym's open 24/7.
exactly.
No, but it's true. But check it out. So I remember the first day I went to work, because you have to realize I was working from home for years, right? So now getting back out there and like, anyways, I was like, I'm gonna go to the gym right after work. Oh my God. My first day at work, my feet were like dead. And I was like, there's no way I'm gonna go to the gym because I'm so tired. My feet hurt.
So that's
What
why I
if it's a
say
legit reason, Jay? What if it's like my
no,
feet
it's
hurt?
not. It's not a legit reason because you have to learn to adapt to the life that you have because your life is always changing. It's not
That's
going to
true.
be the same every year.
That's
So you have to figure out what works best for you to still prioritize yourself. So I would say
true.
for someone like you who's on your feet all day and you know at the end of the day your feet gonna hurt and you not want to stand up, get up a little early in the morning, go work out, get it out the
Mm.
way, and then go into your
So
day.
what you're telling me is to get up at 4 a.m. and get my
Yes,
workout in.
yes.
Okay, guys, thank you for tuning in. I'm just kidding.
It's time to go to sleep. I gotta go to bed.
No, you know what? It's true because my daughter. Okay, so check this out. So my daughter goes to work at 5, and I told her we're trying to figure out like a way for her to go to the gym too, because usually when she goes, I watch the baby. Da da da. And then I was like, that mean I'd have to get up at 4 in the morning, which
So you already up. You already up.
See, I know you're right.
You already up. So what's your excuse? Because
It's
either
true.
way,
You
it
guys,
goes,
are you guys? This is all part of the show. You guys, are you guys taking notes? I'm just kidding.
you already up. See, you ain't got no excuse.
It is true. You know what? You're right, because today when we went to the gym, like I was just like stretching because I was like, okay, Cinthia, I gotta, and I told my kids, I'm like, I gotta do something because I have so many goals, so many things I want for 2026. Like I don't want like an excuse, you know. But ultimately, you're right. Like life is always gonna life. I always say this, like there's always gonna be challenges, especially when you're wanting to do something. You can bet on something happening where it's gonna test you, right? To be like, oh, do I give up, or all right. Now, how do I fix this, or how do I turn this around?
And also too, coming from being an ambitious person, like you got the podcast, you got your job, like you can't forget yourself in the mix of all of that.
I know.
So that's why I say you got to hold yourself accountable at the end of the day.
And that's huge, because accountability. You said that several times during the podcast. It's so huge. That goes for, I feel like, in every part of our life, right? Like physically, emotionally, spiritually, and anything. And a lot of times it's easier to make excuses for why we're not doing what we need to do to get to where we want to get to. Why is it so easy to make excuses and be like, well, it's because, Jay, you don't understand my schedule.
Nah, it's not a schedule thing. I feel like the thing about it is everybody want a lot of things but don't want to do what is required to get there.
They want to do the work.
Yeah, don't want to do the work.
But you still want the results.
But you still want the results. And I feel like that's why I feel like fitness is so important, because not only does it show you how to stay consistent to get the results that you want, it also can translate into other aspects of your life as well. Like it's a process. Everything is a process. And if you don't start the process and commit to the process, you're not gonna ever get anywhere. You're just gonna be a whole bunch of ideas.
I love that you said that. See, I love how the conversation is flowing, because right now that you said the process, like for example, I don't know if you watched the last episode. I interviewed my daughter. She was talking about because she just ran a marathon in Hawaii, right? And she already signed up for another one in 2026. So I'm like, okay,
committed.
Yeah, and she's the first to say, she's like, you know what, Mom? She's like, I signed up and I didn't know if I was gonna, like, I didn't know how hard it was gonna be, and I witnessed it. I witnessed it all, right. Where there's days she's like, oh, I don't want to run today, you know, because she has this little app where it would train her like. You have to Point being, I got so emotional her completing that, because like she signed up a year ago, she completed it this year, and I'm like, oh my God, she's such an inspiration. I even told her I want to sign up for like not a marathon yet, not yet, anyways, but like a 5K, you know, one of those just to kind of like, and maybe not run the whole thing, but because she's inspired me and so many, right? But my point in sharing this is like, it's the commitment, like you were talking about, is saying, this is what I want to do. So this is what I have to do
to get it done.
Yeah.
And that's why I tell you a lot of times.
I was going to say the process that you were talking about. Like, I feel like a lot of times people, it's so easy to compare ourselves to other people's journey that it's like, oh, I want my body to look like hers or his or whatever the case may be, right? And I think when we understand that everybody's journey is different, right? Everybody's body is different. Everybody, whatever. The point is like, okay, what do you want for yourself, and what are you going to do
Yeah,
about it? Like, that's point blank, right?
definitely. I feel like that's one of the biggest things that stops a lot of people from growth and development is comparison.
Yes.
We
Yep.
spend so much people spend so much time comparing themselves to someone else's journey and not understand what all took place in their journey.
Exactly.
You only get a glimpse of it on social media. So it's like it's easy for
And a lot
everybody.
of times people just post the good things, right? Like the
Mhm,
things that people want to see.
exactly.
And this is why, again, I love doing these podcasts, because a lot of times
Mhm,
people are like, oh, well, look at them. They have their life
yeah.
figured out. Look at Jay. Look at his body. He's just off it. Like, and they see the, like, what they see, but they
Yeah.
don't know the struggle, right? They don't know
Yeah. You don't know
what
where
you
it
really
started.
have.
You don't know where it started from and how I got to this point.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And same for everything else, right? Like, I mean, it's just, I feel like it's so important, guys. And I love this conversation because, again, we're basically done with 2025. Like, tomorrow's the last day. That's crazy to even think. Oh my God, just thinking about that. But I feel like, what would you say, Jay, to have, I mean, you can't change anybody's mind, right? But
Mhm.
what's a good advice, I guess, or tip that you can tell people? Because a lot of times I feel like resets are always good, like, like refreshing, kind of like, okay,
Yeah.
in a way it's good, right? Because you kind of get excited. But like you said, it's not about new year, new me. It's about
Yeah.
new year, better me. Maybe, is that a better way to
No,
say it?
I
Or
wouldn't say
no?
that.
Or
What would I
improved?
say to people? My recommendation to people would be, as we see 2025, it felt like we just started 2025, man. We're already at the end.
Yep,
Time is continuing to move.
I
It's
agree.
not going to stop. So
Mm-hmm.
if you don't take hold of your life and understand that you're a part of being important to yourself, it's going to
Dang,
continue to fly by you. So you got to make time for yourself because time is not stopping
that's so
at
true.
all. And if you don't make time for it today, time is going to continue to keep going. And you're going
Then
to
we're gonna be chatting
continue.
here in 2026 December, and you'll be like, next year.
There you go. So you just
You
got
know
to
what? No,
prioritize it.
you're so right, and it's crazy because, you guys, if you're watching, I think it is so important. I know I'm a work in progress in this too, but it's so easy, especially nowadays with social media, to
Mm,
like sit there and scroll and compare yourself to other people's
mhm.
life, whether that's in the fitness world, whether that's, financially, whether that's in the love, whatever it is, so many things on social media. And it's so much easy for us to sit there and scroll and compare and be like, if only I looked like that
But you know
person.
what I
Or
also you know what I also tell my clients too?
what?
You know how many hours y'all sit on social media?
True. That's true.
If you got time to sit on social media for the many hours, you got enough time to do a hour workout.
Are you guys listening to Coach Jay here, you guys? I hope you're taking notes. He's like,
So
I gotta go.
that's how I look at it, period. And that's why I
No,
say every time people make excuses, I don't hear them because at the end of the day, it's like in the mix of everything you got going on in life, everybody make time for social media
it's
and
so true.
posting on social media and looking at
Sheesh.
people platforms.
Hmm.
Make time for yourself.
You know what? You're preaching today. Like, it's crazy because you're so right. Like, if you really think about, I remember there's been several times that I'm like, oh my God, the day goes by so quickly.
Hmm.
I didn't have time for this, or I wish I had more time for this. And then when you actually look at your screen time, you're like,
Yeah,
hmm.
you've been on the screen for about 10 hours out of all the hours you've been up.
But what about
But
if you work on social media? No, I'm just kidding. That's excuses, you guys.
no, that's no excuse either. Because even if you work on social media, you still got to make time for the
No,
reality.
no, it's true though. It's true. It's true because this is the crazy part, and I acknowledge it. And like you said, accountability, right? You have to look at it like that. Like, okay, if you have, excuse me, 2, 3, 4 hours, whatever. I don't know. Y'all know how long you guys are on social media.
And
Um,
we all got 24 hours in a day.
it's
You
true.
got to just prioritize yourself within those 24 hours.
That's it. Period. That's it. Period. And you know what? And you're right, Jay. I think when you understand, um, that when you commit to yourself, you're doing it for yourself. Like, we sit here complaining about not being where we want to be again, whether that's physically, right?
Yeah.
Mentally, emotionally, financially. But the question is, like, what are we doing about it? Like, what do we need to sacrifice? What do
Mm.
we need to commit to? I don't know. And like you said, it's like we know it, but we break promises to ourselves on a daily. And it's easier to make excuses because we don't want to take that accountability,
And
right?
I'm gonna pick it back off what you just said. You see
Yeah.
how we break the promise to ourselves, but you want other people to uphold the promises that they make to for
Yeah.
you and to
It's
you,
true.
but you don't do it for yourself.
Mm.
We got to stop relying. We got to stop living our lives expecting things that we don't give ourselves from other people.
Exactly. And then we get upset, right? And it's the truth. It's the truth. And I feel like when we, and this is something I've learned, like in life, sometimes you might be like, oh my God, like, why do I keep going through this? Or why am I going, like, I
Mhm.
feel like I'm going in a circle, or why, whatever. We can sit here and complain about anything, right? But when you really think about it, like, do you spend more time complaining versus like, oh, okay, hold on, I better shut up and just start doing the work, right?
Good. Be the representation of the things that you want from other people.
Mm,
How can you ask for something from other people that you don't even give yourself and expect people to uphold that for you when you don't even set the baseline for what you
yeah,
should gain from other people. You got to be that.
that that's true. Let me ask you something as a fitness trainer. Do you have
Mhm.
you gone? I'm sure you've trained so many people, like because I know a lot of people, even myself at one point, I'm like, oh my God, maybe what I need is a fitness trainer. So maybe that will
Yeah,
save me. Maybe that will change me. Have you gotten a lot of people, clients that like, did they just expect you to come and not fix them, but like magically make them get in shape? Like, have you had people like that where you're like, wait a minute, I'm
all
here
the
to
time, all the
guide
time,
you.
all the
Yeah.
time. Because at that point, I become their accountability, but also they also feel too like, well, it's your job, like work
Hmm.
magic. And I have to let people
Exactly.
know, like, the magic is you consistently coming. That's the magic.
Mm,
There is no like quick fix. There is no cheat code to this.
exactly.
It's
Yeah.
consistent. It's a journey. It's a lifestyle. And
Yeah.
that's why I have to constantly remind them that this isn't something that we just do for this month. Because
Yeah.
a lot of other things that happens is if I get you the results in a fast time frame, do you appreciate it, or do you just think, okay, I got what I want, I'm done, and you go back to living your regular life?
Mm.
So I tell people all the time, like, you got to embrace the journey because no
And then
matter
later
how.
they say, oh no, it didn't, fitness trainers, it
Hmm.
didn't work.
Oh yeah, definitely, they do that all the time.
Yeah. Well,
But
and
this,
that's what I'm saying. It goes back to the accountability, right? Because it's like,
yeah,
again, I feel like a lot of times we want that magic stick to come
that
be like,
cheat
here, fix
code.
me.
Yeah,
I've heard it even with like example, like products you could take, right, to lose weight.
yeah.
All these products out there.
Oh, women
But
love those. But we listen. One thing I learned about fitness, we can get a woman to buy anything as long as y'all think it's gonna enhance y'all or make y'all better. Oh man, y'all buying it. Y'all
well,
buying all this
that's what I'm
code.
saying, Jay, though. I'm saying, like, I think instead of understanding that it's not
Yeah,
like, I've heard so many people say, I took this and it didn't work. I gained all the way back. I'm like, well, bro, you can't take a product and then stop
and not do
taking
no
it and then
work.
eat like you normally eat and then
Yeah.
expect for, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel that's what I'm saying. It's always excuses. And I think, like you
Hmm.
said, if people look at fitness trainers, I feel like it would be more like, okay, he's my guy. Like, for example, me, I'll go to the gym. I'll be honest. I mean, I kind of know what I'm doing, but
Yeah.
sometimes I'm like, well, am I doing this right? Like, am I?
Yeah.
And to me, I feel like you as a fitness trainer, that would be like the guide, like, okay, I need your expertise to like help me, like, but ultimately it's up to me, the commitment I make to myself to follow through with it, right?
I was just gonna say that I'm there to assist you in that environment.
Mm-hmm.
Everything outside of that is not my responsibility. That's your responsibility.
Exactly. You
So
can't be like, Cynthia, don't eat that. Put
that
that down.
you have, like I say, it all goes back to accountability and
Mm-hmm.
prioritizing yourself for yourself, because I'm not gonna sit around and follow you all day and be like, don't do this, do that, do this. Like
Oh,
my
so
job.
you don't have those services?
What? I mean, I have those clients who always be asking me questions, but I tell them all the time, like,
Exactly.
it's your responsibility, it's not mine. My
Exactly.
responsibility is to assist you and give you the tools to carry on a healthy,
Yeah.
longevity in your fitness journey. My job is
Yeah.
not to hold your hand and you be my
Exactly.
dependent.
And that's where people get it twisted, right? Again,
Yeah.
you're expecting to like, hey, I'm gonna
Oh
pay for
yeah,
this,
definitely.
right?
Nah, it don't work that way with me.
And that's the crazy part. That's what I'm saying. That's what when you said at the beginning, it's like a mental thing. I think it's a
Yeah,
huge part of it because if you don't change it up here and you're just wanting someone to come and magically, I'm gonna pay you this much,
exactly.
so can you change me? And it's like I can guide you, and that's what
There you
my
go.
job is. But are you gonna commit to yourself,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And
Yeah,
I think
and
that's just the bottom line. I feel like even if we go into the biblical part of life, like,
yeah,
God can do anything He wants for your life, but His job, He says you have to put
mm,
in work. Faith without work is
that's true.
nothing.
It's
You don't
nothing.
get
Yeah,
nowhere. So you have to do your part.
That's true.
And that's just the
And that's
bottom line.
another example of people making excuses. Can you pray for me so this
There
can
you
happen? And
go.
it's like,
Now you got to put in the work. If you ain't putting in no work, you're not gonna get nothing.
exactly. Oh my God. Yeah. You know what? And it's true. And I feel like, especially nowadays, and we're getting close. So we're almost at the hour mark, but I feel like nowadays, what do you call it? Oh my God, I lost my train of thought. Like it's easier to make excuses, or we talk about the self-love journey, right?
Yeah.
But I think people get it twisted, and I've learned that too. Because like there was a year where I was just like, oh, but then I'm like, wait, it's more than like, oh, I love myself. It's more
Yeah.
like, okay, what do I like about me, or what do I want to improve about me, right? And the only one that can do that is me. Like, and like you said,
Love
going back to the
love
beginning of the
yourself
podcast,
enough to have those hard conversations with yourself to
that
become
part.
a better
Ooh.
version of yourself.
And I think that's the part that a lot of times we don't want. I say we because
Mm-hmm.
it's easier said than done, but we
Yeah.
don't want to feel what we need to feel. We don't want
Mm-hmm.
to sacrifice what we need to sacrifice, right? I know that sounds strong, but you know what I'm saying? Like whether it's food,
Yeah.
whether it's not being on social media,
Yeah.
whether it's just committing to like your
Yeah.
comfort, because a lot of times we want something different and better, but yet we're comfortable, but yet we complain because so it's kind of like, what do you want? Like, do we want a better life? Do you want a
Yeah.
better you? You can do it, and it's up to you.
And that's what real self-love is. Self-love
I
isn't just
agree.
saying, oh, I love myself enough to be alone. Like loving yourself is loving yourself enough to challenge yourself to become a better version of yourself
Yeah,
and growing and developing. That's what self-love should be. It's not just based on saying, well, I can love myself even if somebody else don't love me. No, it's loving yourself enough to say that I want to be a better version of
yeah.
myself in a whole. That's what
Mhm.
self-love should be.
It's true, and that's what I'm saying. I feel like we get it twisted, especially in this day and age. Like not just that. Again, we're talking about we want somebody else to come fix
Mm-hmm.
us. The same goes in every category, I believe, in life. We're expecting somebody to come and make
Mm-hmm.
us happy, or somebody
Yeah.
to tell us what we want to hear,
Yeah.
right? And that's where I think, oh my gosh, it's crazy because you see the way the world is now, and unfortunately, this is kind of how it's been. How people like until you like snap out of it, shake out of it, be like, listen, okay, I need to like put those blinders
Yeah.
like right
Yeah.
here to focus on what I want, right?
Yeah.
Because if not, we're always going to be like miserable because you're always
Chasing
comparing.
something that's not for us.
Hmm. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's so true. So, man, I think, I feel like when you get excited about really prioritizing yourself, like you said, like I feel like it changes things,
It
and yeah, we're
does.
human beings. It's not like
Yeah.
every day is going to be the best day, but like you said, just still showing up every day for yourself. And then that's where I feel
Yeah.
like it's so easy for us to put ourselves in, like you just told me earlier,
It's
like, okay,
hard.
so
It's
you
not.
have
It's
a
not.
job,
There's
but
no blueprint to it. So it's like
right,
it's
exactly.
always easy to run from it because you don't know what to expect. You
Hmm.
don't know how to do it. But that's why I
That's
say
true.
that's where self-love comes into play. Like you have to
Like that's
allow
for
yourself to
real.
love yourself enough to go figure that out. Take the
Yeah,
time, embrace the process, and allow yourself to
that's true.
grow through it.
That's true. Now, would you say it's important to like analyze like your environment that you're into? Do you think that plays a big role, or do you think that's just an excuse?
I don't think an environment really dictates that. I feel like prioritizing yourself, it removes you from environments that you're not supposed to be in.
That's true.
You see what I'm saying?
That's
That's why
true.
I say that's again going back to self-love. When you really love yourself and want to become a better version of yourself, it changes how you allow yourself to be in certain environments.
Mm,
You want to be, like I say, being a representation of what you want becomes your priority. So
that's
you don't allow yourself to be in environments that don't resonate with what you really want in your life
yeah.
because you love yourself enough to say that this is not it.
Dang. That's so true. Because you know how that the saying, I mean, I don't know what you guys believe, but like, but I think this is regardless, I think it's the truth. Like
Yeah.
the way you take care of yourself, what you do every day, you will attract the right circle. You will attract
Mhm.
the things that you need in your life. But a lot of times we stay in that comfort zone, if you will,
Mhm.
and expect change. And we're like, oh my God, I'm
Yeah.
trying, but nothing's changing. But if it's like that quote that says, if you don't change, nothing's going to change if you don't change, right? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Something like that. Nothing changes if nothing changes,
Yeah.
And ultimately it's up to us, Katrina, shout out to Katrina Marie. She says facts. And it's so true.
What's up? What's up, Trina?
Yeah, so like you got your people here showing you some love. But I think that's so important. I love this conversation. And guys, when you're listening, I know it's something that you hear at the end of the year, when you're like, okay, a new year's coming. Like, what are we going to do? Like me and my kids tomorrow, probably going to do some stuff where we write our goals, vision boards, and all that stuff is cool, you know, but ultimately I love just to really highlight like the committing to you, committing to you for
making
you.
yourself a priority, making yourself a priority to yourself, the way that you allow yourself to be there for others, be there for yourself. You
That
have,
part. Whew.
because end of the day, we're not getting younger, we're getting older, and I feel
Don't
like
get me started on that. I'm
I
not going
feel
to say it.
I no, but I really do feel at the end of this journey of each and every one of our lives, I feel like we're supposed to be at a point where we can say I'm pleased with who I am, who I was as an individual, and I
Yeah.
represented something that was genuine and pure. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's where you have to get to a point where you prioritize yourself, because whatever that's supposed to look like,
Yeah.
you have to find that. You have to
That's so
figure that
true.
out. It's a process.
You're right. And you know what? And you're so right, because I feel like in life, I know me as a mom, and not just mom, I'm sure men too.
Mhm.
A lot of times just life happens that we end up putting us to at the end of that priority
Mhm.
list, you know. And then when you do that, you get to a point, it's kind of like we say, and the people say, I found myself. I don't think it's even finding yourself. It's more like not remembering who you are. You know what
That's
I
it.
mean? Right. And
Yeah.
I say that as of experience, because
Yeah.
as a mom, like once you have a child, or like, you know, it's like, oh, now they become my life basically. But understanding that, like, if I don't take care of me, how can I be the best mom or partner or sibling or friend? You know what I mean? And I think when we
And
understand that, that's a
and
game
this goes
changer.
back to why I say self-love and prioritizing yourself is important, because like I tell everybody,
Yeah.
how can you offer someone else
Yeah.
something genuine and something pure if you don't even give it to yourself?
That part.
How do you expect to grow in relationships outside of yourself when you haven't even learned what growth
Yes.
looks like for yourself?
Mm. That's so true. I always give this example, and it's true, but it's easier to say it than to remember it in life,
Hmm.
right? When they say, like, you know how they say, they give the example of the cup, like you have to fill your own cup. And a lot of
Yeah,
times we want other people to do it for us.
exactly.
But when in reality, we should be filling our own
Our
cup,
job
and then
to
whoever
ourselves.
comes into your life adds to that, right?
It.
Yeah. And guys, if you guys are watching, I hope you guys take something from this. Like, I think I've really enjoyed talking to you, Jay, because I think it's important. Sometimes we need those like
Yeah,
reminders.
definitely. And
Yeah.
I feel like we get so much nonsense on social media. I feel like sometimes we gotta scale that back a little bit, and
Yeah.
sometimes just sit with ourselves and listen to our thoughts, and
Mm.
like
I think
unwire
that's what a lot of
ourselves.
people don't want to do.
Listen, unbox all the stuff that you're trying to run from. I feel like you
Mm.
have to prioritize that. And I feel like a lot of times people don't do that, and that keeps people held down.
That's so true. And you know what? And that's facts, because I feel like people don't want to feel what they need to feel. They don't
Mhm.
want to do what they need to do because it's easier to be
Everybody
just
everybody only want to embrace the good feelings, but they
the
don't
good,
want.
right? Yep, yep. This is why in social media, why do people the majority post the great things, like the, you know, and it's so true that I think, and I feel like the true healing, you know, people talk about healing a lot, is when you face your own
Yeah,
demons, if you
you
will,
gotta
when you,
face. Yeah,
uh-huh,
you gotta open that box and sort through the box of things that you don't want to deal
yeah.
with. That's where true growth and development comes from.
It's so true. And I would say, yeah, I tell my kids this too. And again, it's easier said than done, but I feel like a lot of times as well, people, we tend to live in our past. Like, Cynthia,
Mhm.
well, you don't know what I've gone through. But to me, the way I look at it is like, yeah, it sucks. And yes, your past can like trigger you sometimes, and it can, and it maybe will always affect you to
Mhm.
a degree, right? But when you get to that place of like, that sucks that I went through what I went through,
Yeah.
but I'm no longer there. Like, I'm here. Like
But
it's what I do.
I'm gonna tell you what helped me grow.
Let's hear it.
So I feel in our upbringings, we all have a path that we didn't choose.
Yeah.
But once we become an adult, we have the ability to become the narrator in our story.
That
So
part.
now that part is meant for you to figure out what you want to narrate your story to be at that point.
Yeah.
Become the person who narrates your story. Don't let your story be narrated by things that don't even exist in your world no more.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people don't let that go and allow themselves to
That's so
create
true.
this recreate the story that they want, and they live in the past. We have to
That's so
stop living
true.
in the past.
Yeah. It's so true. And that's why they say that we hold the pen, right? Like, it's like a book. You read a book, every chapter is different, right?
Exactly.
And the cool thing about for us, like you said, we're the authors, like we have the right to be like, all right, hold on a second. I'm gonna restart this chapter
Yeah.
and I'm gonna write it the way I want it to be, and really nobody can take that from us, regardless.
And you know where that come from?
But
Loving yourself.
that's true. It's true. You know what? It's true. And I think we confuse the self-love journey. Um, but when we realize, like you said, when you get to a place where you're like, listen, oh, self-love is prioritizing me,
Mm-hmm.
doing the things, maybe even the hard things that maybe I don't want to do, but I know if I do them, I'm going to get the results and I'm going to be in the place that I want to be, right? Mentally,
Exactly.
physically, emotionally, right? That's it. That's it. Oh my God. No,
And,
and guys, if you're listening, it's easier to say excuses, and I know it. I always share this. I think I've shared this in probably every podcast, but I never forget this friend that I had that I looked at her in the eyes and I said, "You don't understand. It's so hard." And I remember she paused and looked at me and said, "Cynthia, it's
life
hard
is
because you
hard.
say it's hard.
Life is hard already though. It's gonna
It's
always
always
be
and it's always going to be like that,
it's gonna
right?"
always be that way. So what makes it any easier? Nothing. You just got to do it.
That's
You get
true.
up every you get up every day and dedicate yourself to making the money to take care of your responsibilities.
It's true. Yeah,
So get up every day and make yourself a priority to yourself.
that's true, guys. Basically what you're saying is no more excuses.
Yeah. And you know what I say? Get your ass in the gym.
That's right. That's right, you guys. You heard it. So no excuses, and don't say New
Yeah.
Year's start today. Start well tomorrow's the 31st
Oh,
already, but
commit to yourself every day, man. Like
exactly.
don't let the New Year's be your commitment to yourself. Let every day be your commitment to yourself. You should create resolutions for yourself each and every
On a
day
daily.
and execute that
That
every.
you know what? That's it, you guys. Period. Because that's true. If we're waiting for the new year and no, like you're always. I feel like when you have that mentality, I mean, like I said, it's always good to have a clean slate, right? But not use that as like oh, I failed the first week or I failed the first
Every
month.
day is a clean slate.
True, which is true. Tomorrow's
That's
never promised for anybody. So it's
that's what
like,
I
what are
say.
we
Every
doing
day is a
today?
clean slate. So every
Absolutely.
day you work on becoming 1% better each and every day.
That part. Oh, have you read that book, Atomic Habits?
I don't. Yes.
He's like,
Yes.
no, but it's true because a lot of times we want to go from 0 to 100, and
Real
then that's why
quick.
people quit.
And they crash out because
Hmm.
it's you got to become 1% better every day.
That's true, and I love
Allow
that.
the process to have
Yeah,
its course.
that's true.
If you trying to go, it's like you going fast in a car. You going 100 miles an hour. You can't immediately stop.
Yeah,
You gonna
yeah,
crash, and
it's
that's
true.
just
It's
life.
true. And that's why I
Stop.
feel like a lot of people quit because it's like you want the result. You go to the gym for
Hmm.
a week and you're like, wait, like why don't it's like, hello, how many years have
Yeah,
you not dedicated or committed to yourself or prioritized yourself? And then you
and
want to be
that's
fixed.
something I have to remind all my clients. I say,
Yeah,
listen, it took you this many years to get to where you at. You think you're gonna overturn that in 1 day or two, in
it's
30
true.
days or 60 days or 90 days? No,
That's true.
it's a
It's
process.
true. And that's something that I've come to terms to because I'm like, I know from like May, wait, is it May? Like till now, like I've lost a little 30 something pounds, right? But then I'm
Mhm.
like, I'm not where I want to be. But then I've had to learn to be like, Cynthia, okay, you need to give yourself grace and
Yeah,
understand I'd rather be consistent than like, oh, in 2 months I lost this much,
yeah,
And it's not
definitely.
even just losing. I feel like I've changed my perspective on like, because sometimes you have this thought process of like, oh, I need to lose weight because this and that. But when you dig deeper, it becomes more like like you said, like a lifestyle where like, okay, I have
Hmm.
to prioritize myself every
Yeah,
day for me. And I
yeah.
feel like that helps a lot,
It
I don't know.
does. It changes everything. I feel like a lot
Yes.
of times people promise is like they do things with a single agenda instead of doing it for the bigger picture of their life.
Yeah, that's true.
Stop looking for things to be fixed based on one thing. Like fix yourself or fix your life because you
Yeah,
want a better life in a whole
that's so
long
true.
term.
Yeah. I love that. I love that. Well, Jay, I don't want to take more time. I'm very mindful of people's time, but what is in store for Jay? Like, what are your I don't know if I want to say goals, but what do you have planned for you like in this coming up year? And how would you say 2025 was for you?
2025 was a wake up call for me. It made me realize how much more I have to focus on securing not only my present day to day life, but also working on like establishing my future.
Mm.
So right now, I'm actually working on getting into National Guards as we
Ooh,
speak. I did my ASVAB test today. Um, I'm actually in that whole process, taking a physical next, and then
wow.
once I get through that, I'll go through basic training, which is 10 weeks, And then after doing that, I'm gonna do a year in National Guards, and then I'll apply for firefighter academy, and then I'll
That's
work.
so cool. I could totally see you
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah. So I got a couple different things working, but it's not it's like I say, growth and development is very important to me. That's like one of my
Yeah.
biggest things.
Yeah.
So like I say, I appreciate this year for what it was,
Yeah.
even through all the challenges,
Yeah.
and I want more for my life. So I don't create New Year's resolutions, 'cause I started working on it already this year.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
want to, like I say, you just continue to grow as an individual. Focus on that and allow that to be the
Every
process
day.
you take every day,
Mhm.
daily.
Yeah.
So that's what I got in store for this year coming, and I plan on
That's
executing
exciting.
everything that I have in store.
That's exciting. And you know what? And I love that you said that because I always say this, like, I feel like you can't tell people what to do, right? But I feel like as
Yeah,
human beings, you have to evolve, right? Like I feel like
yeah,
if you're stagnant, like I don't know, I think for me at least, the purpose of life is like you have to grow. You have to, we can never stop learning.
mhm,
Um, you can always still continue to have dreams no
yeah,
matter how old you are, right?
definitely,
No matter what you've gone through in life. So I think that's really cool. And I
yeah,
think you're going to do amazing on that
yeah.
100%. And I'm excited to
Appreciate it.
see you, come through with that because I know you're going to kill it. So I'm
Definitely,
excited for
definitely,
you. So I
definitely.
appreciate your time, Jay. Before we close out, I want you to tell people, and if you guys are watching, if anybody has questions, like now is the time because we're about to wrap this up. But what can you tell people who are in this, like, we're about to finish 2025 and basically it's over.
Mhm.
Like, what advice can you tell them, and you can send me the bill later for all the questions they asked you. I'm just kidding.
I would say first and foremost, like I say, prioritize yourself.
Yeah.
Stop stop prioritizing everything else in life over you as an individual first.
Yeah.
Second, incorporate growth and development into your life
Yes.
on a daily basis. And don't expect it to be instant,
Mm-hmm.
but figure out what that looked like and embrace the path and the position that you're going on, the journey that comes with it.
Yeah.
And just continue to just find out what you truly are and who you truly want to be for yourself in your life. And I feel like once you get those things together, everything else will work itself out in life.
Yeah. I love it. I love that. And I think it's so true. I feel like if you guys are watching, you guys, I mean, we're ending 2025, whether that was a hard year for you or not.
Yeah,
Life, like we said, I always say life is like a roller coaster, right? You can't always be everything's
definitely.
great. You can't always be down, right? But
Exactly.
something that I always say, and I think I keep it close to my heart, is like it's because people ask me like, Cynthia, how are you positive when you go through so much stuff? And I'm like, it's a choice. Like either it's how you react to life's adversities, right?
Hmm.
Because you can feel sorry for yourself and live
Yeah,
in this bubble of victim mentality, or be like, all right, this sucks that happened to me, but okay, what can I learn from this? How can I grow?
that's
How
it.
can I help others? Like what you do. You're a prime example, Jay. Like
Yeah.
you didn't let the hard things in your
No,
life
never
break
let your
you.
adversity break you. Make it
Ex-
build you up to become a better version of yourself. But also in the end of the day, everything that you do in life is made to help you become a better version of yourself if you
It's
allow it.
true. It's true.
There's no
I
there's
believe
no there's
everything
no
happens for a
losses.
reason.
There's no
Mhm.
losses, there's only lessons.
That
And
part.
you can't appreciate the good things without having the adversity. So you have to
Exactly.
go through it so that you can appreciate when you actually have the breath of fresh air, the space
Yeah,
of like this is my winning season. You got to have those hard times
it's
so that you can
true.
appreciate those.
Yeah. I love that because it's so true. Like when you look at it that way, it changes things because I feel like,
Mhm.
and and I say this because it's easier for us to fall into this victim mentality of like, Cynthia, you don't know what I've gone
Yeah.
through. But when you look at it like, okay, what can I learn? But when you're not in that mindset, I feel like this is when we stay stuck. When we're
Hmm.
like repeating things
You're
and we're
going
like,
you're
oh my
going
God,
that you're
when am I
going
gonna
that
catch a
you're
break?
going that loop.
Exactly. And exactly. And until we are like, okay, all right. So if I'm continuing to attract these type of people or I'm continuing to repeat the same type of things in
Now
my
you
life,
gotta look at
what do I
yourself.
need to do different?
Yeah, you gotta look at yourself. Like, what am I doing wrong?
Exactly. And I think that a lot of time it goes back to accountability, right?
Hmm.
So guys, if you learn anything from today, accountability, okay? We can
Accountability and prioritizing yourself.
Yes, exactly, you guys, because 2026, you guys, it's not up to Jay, it's not up to me, it's not up to
It's up to
social
you.
media. It's really up to, like you said, what we're doing every single day to
Yeah.
become the best version of ourselves for ourselves, number one.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there, I truly do believe that you'll attract the life that you want. But a lot of times
Yeah.
we focus so much on the person next to us
Mm-hmm.
versus us, and then wonder why we're not where we want to be. You know,
There you
people
go.
can inspire you 100%. Like Jay, okay, you're a fitness trainer. I'm sure a lot of people follow
Yeah.
you. They're like, oh my God, you know, but ultimately let that inspire you, but let that inspire you to do something for yourself.
Do something for yourself. Yeah.
Exactly. So with that being said, Jay, I appreciate you so much. I'm
You're
excited
welcome.
to
You're
see
welcome.
your journey. And guys, if you guys tuned in, thank you so much for being here with
I
us live.
appreciate
And if not, if you're watching the replay, make sure to share and drop a comment when the live is done, and like it and all that good stuff, you know. So Jay, thank you so much
it. You're
again.
welcome. You're welcome.
I'm excited again to see your journey, and I appreciate all you guys. And I guess we'll see you guys in 2026,
Yes.
right?
Happy New Year's to everybody, and I hope everybody start this year out with a plan, so that
Yes,
you can have a better year than you did this year.
exactly. Exactly. It's all up to us, you guys. So happy New Year's to everybody, you guys. All of you guys who've been supporting the podcast, I appreciate you guys. 2 months completed, and I have people already lined up for the first couple months. If you guys want to be a part of the podcast, just message me, follow me, and we'll definitely get you on here. And you guys can read down here. Make sure you follow Jay on all his platforms: Instagram, TikTok. Just
Get
don't forget.
Busy J is my name.
That's right. Get busy, Jay. I wrote that on there. I think I did it right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you did. You did.
All right, guys. Well, thank you again, Jay. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you guys next year, you guys, because I have some cool guests lined up for the next couple of episodes as well. Make sure you guys tune in, subscribe if you haven't. Okay, please hit that notification or those little bells so you guys don't miss an episode. So with that being said, Jay, again, thank you so much, you guys.
You're
Everybody,
welcome.
good
You're
night,
welcome.
and we'll see you guys on the next one. Thank
Have a
you.
good night. Have a good night.